Cheers and welcome back to McNulty's Book Corral. Today we're talking about another favorite, Michael Moorcock and his Elric series, Elric of Melnibone. And I'm going to talk specifically about the new editions from Saga Press. And we're going to start out with the new Elric novel, which is called The Citadel of Forgotten Myths. And this was published in conjunction with the three-volume compilation that I'm going to show you. You know, when I was preparing for this episode, I thought that I would go and pull out all of the old doll books I have and all of that. And I decided not to do that because I want to just focus on these new editions because they're so beautifully done. You know, so the new Elric novel is The Citadel of Forgotten Myths, and it fits in with some of the later, in between some of the later stories that have been reprinted. And when I read this, I devoured it. You know, it was so good. It was nice to revisit Elric, one of the great anti-heroes, a moody, brooding albino swordsman who carries Stormbringer with him, the Eater of Souls. If you're not familiar with those elements of the Elric saga, I would strongly encourage you to pick up this entire series, the three-volume reprints, and then the new book that came out. This is well worth your time. I mean, I just treasured it. So in this book, Elric is going to go investigate his ancestry in the world below, and he encounters monsters and demons and gods and dragons and deceitful manipulators. He's still brooding. He has Stormbringer, the Eater of Souls, that controls his destiny. Stormbringer is the sword, and you know, on and on. And Moonglum is with him, and I don't know. I just think that it was, you know, I just think it was great. It's not very long, but it's 300 pages with a small. Yeah, it's over 300 pages with a small font. So this is a great fantasy. You know, there's a lot of fantasy on the market today. By people, and some of them are really good. I like. There's a lot out there. Okay, some of them are very famous, and some of them are famous for the wrong reason. But Michael Moorcock, whom I've never met, but he's in a class by himself. I think there's a decency to the man. I think there's a quality to his writing that surpasses these other guys. Just me. It's just my humble opinion. Not trying to start a fight or anything. The reason I'm saying that is because I really love this book. I really loved it, and I think you should buy it and read it. Okay, so published by the Saga Press, which is a division of Simon & Schuster, an imprint of Simon & Schuster. And again, you can see, you know, the end papers are the map of the world and so forth. Just beautifully put together books. So I loved it. And here, let me take a sip of this before I get into the trilogy here. Once again, by the way, I'm drinking Hobgoblin Red Ale, which is one of my favorites from England. So they reprinted all of the original Elric stories in 3 volumes. The first is this one, which has a foreword by Neil Gaiman. And this, I'll tell you what the stories are that are reprinted here for you readers who go back. You have Elric of Melnibone, The Fortress of the Pearl, The Sailor on the Seas of Fate, and The Weird of the White Wolf. Those are 4 key Elric books. These editions also include color plates in them, which gives you some fascinating artwork to see. The first 2 volumes do. And so they're beautifully put together. And I just thought it was a great way to reintroduce and connect with a new audience the fantastic Elric novels, is to put them out in these beautiful, beautiful editions. You know, I mean, you know, if you're not familiar with Elric, you start right here. You can get this on Amazon. It's really easy. Okay, so it's a hardcover. It's a deluxe edition. It's a collector's item. I'm big on collecting, obviously, and I talk about collecting all the time, and I'm always encouraging people to collect. read and collect, you know. So start here. So that's the first volume, and then the second is this one, and this reproduces the artwork from the DAW book. Each cover on these reproduces the artwork. I think this was it not Michael Whalen that did the artwork for this? I believe it was. Yes, Michael Whalen. Boy, it took me a few minutes to get there, didn't it? So let me tell you the stories that are in this one. And this is beautiful illustrations in here. We have The Vanishing Tower, The Revenge of the Rose, The Bane of the Black Sword, and Stormbringer. Stormbringer was actually the first Elric novel that I read, and that was the DAW edition. And all reprinted here. So this also includes some color plates for you to enjoy. And if I could find them, we'll all be better off. Right here. So, you know, and makes for a great introduction to Elric and Michael Moorcock if you haven't read him. So many people have. I consider him at the top, you know. And then one more. They did it in 3 volumes. The third volume doesn't have any reproductions, color reproductions. I think there is in the beginning. There's a black and white illustration. But this is the thickest of the 3. It really, because the books got longer. And this will reproduce The Dream Thief's Daughter, The Sprayling Tree, and The White Wolf's Son. Just fantastic. Just fantastic. You know, these books, the way these are put together. These are the types of books, and what I promote with this is, you know, you buy these because this is part of your home library, and it's something that stays in your library, and the books get passed down from generation to generation. And there's no better writer to say that about than Michael Moorcock and the Elric saga. Now, later on, I'll pull out my paperbacks of the DAW, the Quorum, remember the Quorum series, Count Brass, the Eternal Champion, all of that. You know, I have a lot of those paperbacks, and a couple of other things by Michael Moorcock that at a later date I think I'll pull out because it was fun. But I didn't want to do that for this episode because I just want to promote this idea of reading a quality edition and adding that to your home library because it's the best thing to be doing, you know. So today we're drinking Hobgoblin Red Ale. Stay well, stay happy. Feed your brain, drink a pint, and read a book. Cheers.